So I'm not going to be available for the next 45 minutes. I'm getting interviewed, baby. I'm going to be famous. I'm so excited to leave my children.
I'm glad to give you a break from the kids.
Mom's Night Out with Kayla.
Yay. Thank you for being here. Seriously, it means so much. I wanted to chat with you because I went to one of your dating events about a year ago, actually. And I've obviously followed you on Instagram since then and see that you're just a hustler. You're a mother, first and foremost, but you do a lot besides just being a mother and a wife. So I want to chat with you and just learn a little bit more about who Alexa is.
So I have three babies. Or a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So that consumes a huge part of my day. I work in real estate for my dad. A lot of people don't know that because it's just not a really sexy job. I love working with my father, believe it or not, most of the time, and kind of helping him with his business. And it kind of keeps me sane by, like those moments where I'm stressed out with my kids and I just want to kind of transfer my energy somewhere else. It's nice to lease apartments to people and manage tenants and stuff like that. Weirdly enough, it kind of keeps me sane. He's going to love it if he listens to this. Dad, you keep me sane. These dating events sort of came to be out of a need I felt. I saw all of my many girlfriends having a tough time meeting really suitable guys, and they found dating apps to just kind of like hurt their self-esteem more, and they were just they were stuck. They didn't know what to do. And just being pretty connected and having friends from all over and being, I think I'm a little persuasive. I was like, you know what, let me just throw a really fun speed dating event. So my first event was a speed dating event, and let's see who comes and let's see how it goes. And so that was just kind of formed out of passion. And it was a successful first event. We had 200 people. And a couple actually formed from the event, and now they have 2 kids.
What a success story after the first event, too.
After the first event,
incredible.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So you do a lot. I don't know how you do it all. And that's exactly why I wanted to talk to you, because you truly are the epitome of a hustler, with being a mother, the number one job that you do, right?
Thank you.
You would probably say that being a mom is number one. And you have 3 children, but you're able to still work in real estate and continue to put on these amazing dating events.
Thank you.
So, which I can attest to because I've been to one. But I just want to better understand you as a person. You mentioned that you weren't always this way, right? And I think that's so unique to your story is in your 20s, you were, I think, a real estate broker you mentioned, right?
I started doing real estate. I worked as a broker right out of college because that was just the industry that felt familiar. That was, my dad was in it. Everyone on my father's side of the family is in real estate. So it just kind of felt natural. And I think I had, and I got a broker's license, a salesperson's license, which is like so much fun. Everyone should do it. It's kind of just like good to have. Yeah, it's nice to have, and like the knowledge that you learn from it is great. I felt young to be trying to sell these like massive apartments. Like I truly felt lost. I was shadowing a broker, like a multi-million-dollar listing broker. And I was like, how do I even get a listing? I'm 21. Who's going to give me a $10 million sales listing? I just felt like it wasn't where I should be at the time. So I went and I got a master's in real estate because I felt like if I had that background, I'd be able to thrive more in the industry. And honestly, it was kind of an excuse to just go have fun and meet men in that industry.
Hell yeah. I love the honesty.
Yeah, I took night classes. I partied at that time. I went out a lot. I had so much fun.
Did you meet any good men in real estate class?
Yeah. I went on some trips. I had a great time. I was dating a lot at that time. And I stayed in the program definitely longer than I should have. I think it's like a 1.5 year program, and I was in there for like 2.5 years.
You couldn't get enough of the fun. You're like, I have to stay
I was
for the men and for myself, for the fun.
Literally. I felt like I was just stalling, right? Like the reality of like going and finding like a real job. And yeah, so maybe a little spoiled on my end, but that's whatever. That's what I did. And right before I graduated from the program at NYU, my father was like, why don't you start a pastry company with your uncle? There's a company in Canada called Beaver Tails. Do you know it?
No, I don't know Beaver Tails.
It's fried dough with toppings. It's very, very simple, and it's experiential. You pull the dough so it's in the shape of a beaver's tail. You fry it and then you top it. It was fun. So I had this business for 2 years.
What was your family's connection to Beaver Tails?
We're not Canadian, but we spend a lot of time in Canada. My parents spent the whole summer there. We grew up going there, and this is just like a company that's flourished in Canada. So we're like,
bring it to the States.
Bring it to the States and like we made it like vegan and cool. I'll tell you what I learned though. Having my own business was awesome. Being able to create and really like be fully invested in something and grow it was so, so cool. And I knew that I wanted to do that again in some capacity. And to this day, I will open another, we called it Freps Pastry Bar. I will reopen one day.
Where was it? Where was the pastry bar?
It was, so we didn't have much risk. It was in a retail portion of a building that we owned. Okay. So it was rent-free and whatever. So that was kind of nice as well. But it was on 44th and 2nd.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was that. And then during that time, that's when I started dating my husband.
Yeah. So how did you meet your husband?
So
in my head was like your college, like sweethearts, high school sweethearts. Why do you think that? I don't know. I just feel like maybe just from seeing your photos, I thought you had known each other since then, but you did know each other, right?
Yes.
You grew up together?
We grew up together.
Okay.
We knew each other, from 5 years old. He's actually 2 years younger than me, which
cougar.
I love.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it like being married to a younger man?
I always dated younger men, interestingly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like 6 months younger or 4 years younger. I don't know why that always
I feel like
happened.
They are more likely to like praise you and like,
yes,
like worship the ground you walk on.
Yes.
If you date a younger man, but it's the emotional intelligence that I question. Right?
I know, but I feel like you can get lucky and you can find men who have like a much higher emotional intelligence that are younger compared to like a guy that would be 10 years older than you sometimes.
Yeah, I guess you really never know.
Depends.
Age is just a number.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did you guys reconnect?
So we reconnected after college. Actually, he's in real estate. So I was at I was at the NYU master's program, and we were doing all these different, what are they called? Like, not a charity. They were just basically like real estate events that were run by different organizations, and NYU would give us free tickets and we would go, and he was always at them. So we kind of started flirting there. And then we had a mutual friend that invited us to a dinner one night, and it, like, those nights where you just laugh hysterically and like you don't even know why, but it was one of those where I couldn't stop laughing, he couldn't stop laughing, and there was definitely chemistry. And then he asked me for my number, and I gave him my email address.
No way.
So I felt like it was more professional, and I had a boyfriend. So that was
Alexa, that's why I'm like, why would you give this man your email address?
I probably would have given him my email address anyways, by the way.
No
yeah,
way.
I
was
loved
this pre-iPhone? Like how long ago was this, Alexa? Not to age you.
It was 2013. I think 2013.
So we did have iPhones.
So like basically pre-iPhone.
Basically pre-iPhone, maybe BlackBerry. Still, yeah. BBM, your PIN. You didn't want to give him your PIN.
I used to love teasing men, and like that is not healthy.
Toxic.
It's so toxic. And I learned.
So that's your toxic trait, or it was your toxic trait.
For sure.
Yeah. But
I just
make
like
some, you got to reel them in somehow.
Yeah. It was not healthy.
Wait, so you were dating someone at the time?
Yes, I was dating someone at the time. And yeah, so I mean, that was probably the overarching reason for why I gave him my email. But so I give him my email, and I think he put us all on a thread, like everyone at that dinner, and was like, it was so good to see you guys. And then maybe he messaged me privately. And there was a little back and forth banter. But I think he was able to use our mutual friend as an excuse. Like, we would have group dinners afterwards, and that was okay because he wasn't really crossing any lines.
So you stayed dating this other guy for how long after you initially reconnected with
your
husband?
It was pretty complicated, but I did date the other guy, say, for about a month or two more, and then I took a break and started dating my husband.
Whoa.
So
it was like an immediate.
Well, I didn't start dating him. I was, I guess you could say, hooking up.
Okay.
Kissing. I was kissing my husband. Okay. I was flirting with my eyes. I don't know, whatever. And then my ex found out, and it was a whole fiasco.
Did your ex know your husband? Like, did they know each other
Yes.
at all? I figured. Oh my God. That's tea, Alexa.
Yeah, they were friends.
So was there something like when you met your husband that night where you were just like, I know something's not working with this other guy I'm dating? Like, what made you? No.
Oh. No.
It was more of a slow burn.
He was wonderful, and my husband was also wonderful. Like, to be honest, it wasn't. I had instant chemistry with my husband, and I knew that I had a lot of curiosity. I wanted to explore it further. Just even in the way he looked at me, like, I knew he understood me in a way that no one had ever understood me. And like, he found me, I could tell he found me very funny. But not even just like outwardly funny. Like, he just like, he would like look at me. It was really cute.
That's really cute.
Yeah.
I love when a guy thinks that like the littlest things are cute and funny. Like, that's when you know it's true love.
Yeah.
The way they look at you and just laugh at like the stupidest shit you say.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah. There were little moments like that. So anyway, I had a quick little stint with my husband. Now, I mean, at the time we had a little
stint. So how old were you? You were 26 at the time?
No, I was like 24.
Oh, wow. Okay, you were young. Oh, he was 22. A young man in the city, and he was ready to wife you up.
Or I was 25.
Okay.
And then so I got back together with the other guy for a little bit. And then once we officially broke up, then he came, and I was like, okay, we could be friends now, Nico. And then, this went on for a little bit. And then after a while, he's like, okay, I'm not going to be your friend. You can either have me in your life or not. Like, what do you want?
Love that. Lay down the law, Nico.
Oh, he fully... There were never any games with him, and I think that's something I really admired. Even though he was younger than me, he was beyond his years and so mature and so just like confident in me and us. And it was
that's hot, especially in a younger guy.
So
it's really attractive to find that confidence in a guy that's just like, take me or leave me. And then it's like, oh shit, this younger guy's saying that? I want you more. I want that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll find that one day.
You will find that one day.
Yeah. So now you've been married for how many years?
I've been married for 7 years.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
3 beautiful babies.
So we dated for like 2 years, and then 2.5 years, then we got engaged. And but he was a baby. He was only 26 when we got married.
Yeah, that's really young.
That's really
especially
young.
Nowadays. Like, men really do not get married at 26 anymore, especially in New York City. That's really unusual.
It's so young.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's good. But I mean, it was great in our situation.
Every situation's so unique. Yeah. So you said that before you met your husband, you really were very chill, a party girl, meeting men, just doing your thing. So what was it about your husband that kind of made you realize that you needed something more outside of your relationship, right? And the reason I ask that is because a lot of us single ladies in New York are really focused on career, on doing what makes us happy, and then think, okay, maybe by the time we're 29, 30, 31 even, or older, we'll find someone and settle down. For you, it was kind of the opposite, where you're now prioritizing what you're doing outside of your relationship.
So I think I felt, again, the chemistry, but I saw that we had such similar values. We were so aligned. And like, we both, I mean, he way more than me, could have ended it and been like, we can date again in a few years. I'm too young. But I think both of us were just like, we can't, like, there will be too many bruises I'm a firm believer of that like, for the most part, breakups, getting back together after a breakup is very hard. Mm-hmm. And
Lindsay Metzler says,
yeah,
you don't get back with your ex. You don't get back with them.
Oh,
red flags.
Fully.
Deal breaker. We don't get back with our ex. Is it really? Because most of the time it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that too from the
Fully.
couples that you've seen or match made yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so I think, we took a chance. I mean, you're always taking a chance on marriage and love, right? You don't know what's going to happen. But I felt like we were so aligned and everything was, for the most part, great. And I mean, like, with the exception of like some fights here and there, some issues here and there. But I have to say, truly, that with time and like having babies and everything, like, our marriage, and I don't want to jinx it, but is like stronger than it's ever been.
That's awesome.
And it took work.
What is the secret? What's a success to a healthy marriage?
We fight, and we are definitely, I'm extremely open. I'm extremely confrontational, maybe to a fault, but I cannot hold grudges. I need to get everything off my chest. There was like, a few things that bothered me about him and vice versa that I think we've both really worked on because we've had really good communication.
Yeah, so on that same topic, right, when we're thinking about relationships and what's a deal breaker and what's not, or what's something that you can work through versus something that's really saying, okay, you're probably not compatible with this person. From your experience in your own marriage and seeing friends that have maybe gotten married or divorced, or your matchmaking of different friends, like, what are some things to look out for when we're deciding, are we really compatible with this person?
Anger. Like, intense anger is something that, like, I don't stand for, and I've seen a lot of my friends' relationships just crumble because of really, really bad tempers that, their partner or them or whatever just couldn't get control over. And I think that it can really turn into something scary as you, like, head into marriage and you don't know how to control yourself. So I think kind of being really aware of outbursts and, manipulation and stuff like that is so important from the start because it will only get worse.
Do you think therapy could fix that? Do you believe that someone can change?
Maybe for the right, I don't know.
Have you seen that in your experience? Through other friends or people that you've met? No,
I haven't, but I'm sure it exists. I don't know. I don't want to say it's things can be worked through. If everything else aligns and you feel like the person is working towards bettering themselves truly, then, and everything else is aligned, I would say okay. But
yeah,
otherwise, I don't know. I think it can get worse when children come into the picture and all of that.
Yeah, I feel like it has to be easy from the get-go, or at least easy enough.
Yeah.
Because life gets hard. Like, you could have sick parents. You could have a miscarriage. Like, God forbid something horrible happens to you or your family. Like, how do you work through those things with a partner that's not actually a good partner? So that scares me about dating and marriage in the future. But, gonna find that person. It's all good. I'm not worried. But I definitely have seen friends that, I think settle, right? I mean, at some point you have to settle, right? So how do you know? How do you know? if I'm settling for good or for bad or
Right.
for worse. Do you feel like everyone has to settle at some point? I'm really putting you on the spot.
So I think everyone has to settle. I mean, no, I hate that word.
I know. Like, is it settling or is it just life?
And coming to terms with the fact that no one's going to be perfect.
Right.
Is that
maybe that?
right?
So maybe it's not settling.
It's not
but just
settling.
realizing that no one's perfect.
No
and
one's
you have
perfect.
Yeah.
You're going to have to work through things inevitably, and you want to. Otherwise, it's going to be boring.
Yeah.
Like, do you want it all to be just like
No.
No.
If life was perfect, it wouldn't be fun. Exactly. Like, it can be a little roller coaster sometimes, and that's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So I want to know more like about the dating events you've been doing, and like matchmaking, and who are some couples that have maybe been a couple that you thought would be such a great match, but didn't end up being a good match?
Well, okay, so I don't do matchmaking. I just do these curated dating events where people meet, whether it's organically just being at the event or because on the card that I give you and you have your matches, you find your match and then it ends up working out. But I'm not really there to match, or like you're not calling me on the phone and saying like, Alexa, can you set me up? I mean, I'd probably do it anyways, but not as a business, you know?
Okay.
So we have 6 marriages that I know of from the events.
That's a lot of
which
marriages.
is great.
That's a big number.
Yeah, we've done 8 events. So it's pretty
That's
good.
really
And
successful, I would
our
say.
9th is coming up on December 17th. And
Oh.
that's going to be a really interesting one. I'm really excited about it because it's a 45 plus event. So it's more so for like divorcees or people who want a second shot at love or people who just never found love. So it's going to be exciting, and I'm tapping into a new demographic, and I think it's going to be.
I think that's going to be a hot commodity, that
Yeah.
event. That's going to be amazing. I already have people in mind to send that event to. So what are the cards that you use to facilitate conversations at these events?
So you fill out a questionnaire before coming to the event when you purchase a ticket, and we convert that to a spreadsheet and align you with 3 to 5 people that we think you would be best matched with based off of, your interests and your age and what age you're looking for and like a bunch of different factors. And then we go in, so we have our 3 to 5 for each person. And then we go in and we look you up, kind of like recruitment. Did you ever rush?
Sorority recruitment. Yeah.
And you're like looking them up on Instagram or Google, and you're just like making sure that all the matches are well suited for you. But if they're not, like, because I start learning about like.
So do people say, I want a tall, dark, and handsome Jewish man?
Some people do, yes.
And that'll be like your criteria that you have to go off of?
Yes.
Okay.
Or some people say they want like a billionaire. And I'm like,
I was
all
going to say,
right, well,
what
where
is
are
the
the
craziest thing that you've seen? Are you looking up people's like W-9s? Where can we find how much money you make, sir? Yeah, what is the craziest submission you've gotten for
so
one of your
that's an
events?
option. That's an option. You can.
Yeah.
So there's like 10. There's 10 qualities that you're looking for in a partner, and you have to select your top 3 and you rank them. So a lot of times women will write wealth as their number 1, and I'm like, look, I respect it. If that's what you want, like,
go after it.
you shall receive. So
Okay.
I'll
What
look
about
up
the men?
I'll
What
look
do
up
they
the billies.
What do they put? Yeah, I gotta find the billies. We're calling all billionaires. We have Alexa's event, December 17th, 45 plus. If you're listening, we'll need
Very
you there.
sexy venue, TBD.
Oh, TBD. Okay. Can I help work this event or something? Like I would like to be. I would like to
100%.
witness the energy in
Please
this
come.
room.
I would love to
Okay.
have you.
I would also love to be behind the scenes, like matching people up.
So fun.
That must be really fun, but that must take hours. That's a lot
Yeah.
of work.
So the spreadsheet, my cousin who works with me, her name's Tanya. She's been running the back end of all these events from day one, and she's had no recognition. The poor girl. So Tan, I don't know if this will be run, but Tan, we love you. But anyways, so she like creates this whole spreadsheet, and she puts in like each appropriate person for each person. And then we go through it. So normally I'll have like 7 to 10 girls that will come in, and like everyone will do a match. And then once they'll like look through every individual person, make sure the matches are well suited for them. And then I always like go back and just oversee it again one more time just to make sure it's good.
Wow. So you're going deep, like looking LinkedIn's, Instagrams, like all socials, like finding everything out about these people.
Yeah.
And it's probably, what, 200 people at these events?
Between 200 and 300.
Wow. Hard work. Pays off.
It is.
6
but
marriages.
It's fun. I actually enjoy it so much. Like I love looking people up and like setting, like that's really fun for me. The matchmaking feels like too much pressure. That's for Lindsay.
That's for Lindsay. Lindsay's a great matchmaker. We can leave that to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So have there been any crazy dating stories like coming out of your events of people that have maybe met that you didn't intend to set up?
Yeah. Oh, that have maybe met that I didn't.
Have you ever been wrong about a match or a potential card number for a person?
I'll tell you. This girl reached out to me after the event, and she was like, can you please set me up with more people? I didn't really like my matches. And I was like, okay, sure. So I gave her 3 names, and she said no. She said no to one guy because she said she already knew him, and then the other 2, it just didn't work out. And fast forward like 6 months, I run into her and the guy that she had said no about. And I was like, what's going on here? And she's like, oh, yeah, we're dating. I was like, is that because of me? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh, I just set you guys up. And you said no.
So she didn't remember that you set her up?
No, she did say no to me. And then she saw him again in some capacity, and then they started dating.
Wow. So what was her first reason? Why did she say no to you in the first place? Was he not wealthy? Was he not good looking?
No, he's all of those things. I think that like, and this is an important point. Sometimes when we know someone, and it could be peripherally or like really well or whatever it is, because we already know them and we've never really like thought of them in that way, the romantic way, people will just say no. And that is not good. And that's like something that I'm very against. I'm like all about saying yes and all about being open and just kind of like, you know, keeping yourself open to any opportunity unless like you're really, really anti.
Yeah.
Just say yes and see. You'll like have a good time.
You're right.
Worst.
I agree. And I feel like in my earlier 20s, I would say yes to every date. But now that I'm 28, almost 29, I do feel like
You're
quality over quantity. I guess, but I don't feel like a baby, you know? Like societal pressure, but I'm very chill about dating. I've developed a new outlook. Shout out to Lindsay for that. But truly, it's abundance mindset. We are not in a scarcity mindset. I'm not concerned, but I'd rather go on a date with a guy that I'm like, he's a quality guy than just saying yes to every guy on the street. Not that the men are asking on the streets.
I'm
but
sure they are.
They could be.
Look how gorgeous this girl is.
This homeless man outside asked me out today. No. But in actuality, I think, what about quality over quantity? Like, have you seen people that use that to their disadvantage and don't end up being so open?
I mean, look, if you're like repulsed, no, you're not going out. Yeah.
Do you believe in the ick?
Yeah. I believe in the ick with women too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it happens both ways.
It happens.
And it's hard to overlook. The one thing I will say is if a guy can get a woman to come back from the ick, he's a keeper.
Love that.
Did you see Nobody Wants
I
This?
did.
Yep. Rabbi Adam Brody came back from the ick.
He came back from the
And
ick.
that's why they stayed together at the end of the
It
show.
was really her sister that gave her the ick though, right? Like, I don't know if she would have gotten, or like,
True.
feel like
She
she
really was
brought
like
that
pushing
ick
it
out.
Yeah, she was. She was like,
Yeah.
that's so unattractive, which I hated that. Don't be judgmental.
yeah, terrible to be that judgmental friend.
I do think reversible ick, it's possible. Hasn't happened with anyone yet, but the guy that reverses the ick on me, husband. Calling it
love
right
that.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Upper East Side moms, because that's another layer to who you are as a person.
Well, I don't know if it's a layer.
Maybe not a layer, but I've seen you on TikTok.
But it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
So what are you doing? What is Upper East Side moms?
So my friend Joyce has a TikTok called Upper East Side Mommy. that everyone should follow if they don't. And it's just like a day in the life of her as an Upper East Side mom, 4 kids, and I think she's only 28.
Oh my gosh, wow.
And she just has so much fun. I mean, she has such a great balance of playing with her kids, going out, getting decked out, having so much fun. And she brings a bunch of our friends in. So I met her through my kids' school. We do these really fun lunches on Mondays.
Cipriani Mondays. I knew it. Upper East Side moms at Cipriani.
And it went viral. And it took us like all of 2 minutes to make it. And then it just blew up and we were like, wait, what?
The power of social media and TikTok is insane.
It's insane.
You need to use TikTok for your events.
I should,
Are
right?
you going to start doing that?
Yeah. I have a TikTok, but like...
Got to get on it, Alexa.
It's for my kids and I have so much fun creating content with them, but...
That's so cute.
I have like 500 followers.
It's okay. We're getting you there. We're getting there. It just takes one video.
That's
just
true.
one. So, okay. So what's up next for this event in a few weeks? Like, what can we do to help? Should we promote the event? Who can we get to come?
Yes.
Like, I want to help you make this couple number 7 for Alexa in the books. Maybe we can get a few couples out of it.
7's my favorite number.
Lucky number 7. Perfect.
So the event is going to be pretty high end. It's going to be at a beautiful venue. I just can't say where yet because I haven't secured it. And there's going to be about 100 people, even ratio, girls to guys.
Perfect.
I'm going to make it that a few matchmakers will be there to kind of facilitating conversations and setting people up. And then it's open bar and like delicious food. And it's December 17th. So everyone will have like the holiday spirit.
Very nice. Okay. I'm very excited to hear how this goes and hopefully support.
Thank you.
So if there's a piece of advice you can offer to someone in their 20s, struggling with dating, struggling with finding their true passion, what's your biggest advice to give them?
Every morning, go start your day off with gratitude and just be thankful for your life, appreciating every good moment that you have because we are so lucky to have our health and just make the most of every second and do it with fun. That's really what I try and do because, I mean, thank God I've had my health, but people in my life haven't, and I just realized I don't even want to get emotional right now, but just how fleeting life is. And, you know, 1 second you are here and the next you might not be. So anyway, I truly, truly try to just enjoy every second. And I think if you are enjoying your life, good things will come, good people will come, and you'll be happy. I mean, obviously there's more to it, but I think gratitude is so important.
Practice gratitude. No, I love that. And really be grateful for your health. I think that's a really good big piece of advice too. And just do what you want to do.
And just do what you love. Exactly.
Do what you love and it'll find you. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Alexa.
Thank you, Kayla.
Where can people find you?
You're such a good interview.
Besides on the Upper East Side.
You can find me at Cipriani.
Cipriani Mondays. We'll meet for lunch next week. I'm going to crash your mom lunch. Well, thank you, Alexa.
Thank you so much.
You've been a doll. I appreciate
I had so
it.
much fun.
Yay.
You're so cute. You got me to cry.
I know. I got you so much.